What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday. And guys, I'm so excited to be talking to you about one of my favorite albums of all time, Abbey Road by the Beatles. And my personal favorite top 5 songs from that album, which is almost impossible to rank this record, especially your favorite 5, because every single song on here is an absolute gem. And I did a little cheat that I think you're probably going to be hinted into to kind of, whittle it down, because man, this was a tough one, but I think I did it. So let's get right into it at number 5. Come Together, the opening track, one of the greatest opening tracks of all time. If you watch my great 28 opening songs, you know that I love it. And why is it only at number 5? Because as I said, one of the greatest albums ever made, and just such an unusual song when you think about it. I mean, the bass line, the little shoot me thing in the background that accompanies it, Ringo's drum fill, it is so cool, and it's really such a bluesy song when you break it down. But then when John Lennon's singing these nonsensical things on top of it, and you get that big chorus that everyone wants to sing along to, come together right now over me. Somehow it makes sense, even though most of the song makes no sense. And but man, it is just such a great rocker. It's been covered to death by the likes of Aerosmith and Gary Clark Jr., but I think nothing really beats the original, because it's just got its own vibe, man. And what a way to start one of the greatest records ever. And that's just my number 5. So now at number 4, I Want You, She's So Heavy, another Lennon track, and man, talk about a rocker. This thing might be the heaviest Beatles song, right up there with Helter Skelter, man. When this thing builds up at the end with that just repeating arpeggiated guitar and that the drums just building up heavy as hell, and then you got that just kind of white noise in the background that keeps getting louder. It feels like the world is going to end, like this big apocalyptic track, but leading up to that, it's actually just like a really fun song about love and lust and, kind of both at the same time. He's obviously singing this about Yoko, and it's just very simple, but to the point. And man, when you get John Lennon screaming at the top of his lungs in a bridge, you just can't beat it, man. It's one of my favorite on this record, and that's going to lead straight into number 3. Here Comes the Sun by George Harrison. Yes, what a segue from that huge pounding I Want You straight into the just very gentle acoustic opening of this track, and one of George Harrison's best of all time. I mean, George was just on fire at this point. He was not only at the level of John and Paul as a songwriter, he almost had surpassed them in some ways. I mean, just his work, his contributions on here are just incredible. And this song, just one of the greatest acoustic songs you'll ever hear. And it's not easy to play, by the way, that little lick, that dun 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 dun. And he just wrote it on a day that he was in Eric Clapton's garden and having a great day, and wrote about just, the sun coming up, and here comes the sun. What better sentiment could you have? It's just it's always going to put you in a good mood. It is one of the Beatles' best, and that's just my number 3. So now at number 2. The Abbey Road Suite. This was my big cheat, because, I mean, this almost takes up the entirety of side B, starting with You Never Give Me Your Money, which that song alone, just incredible. One of Paul McCartney's greatest, most underrated gems of all time. Just what a great piano ballad that changes several times within that song alone. But then you got all these other bits and pieces of songs that they piece together, and it fits so well just as this elongated medley. You got Mean Mr. Mustard, Polythene Pam, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, another just great standout song by itself, and then culminating with this huge jam at the end called The End, with all three guitarists just trading off guitar solos, and then of course the ultimate line, and in the end the love you take is equal to the love you make. And then after all that is said and done, you still got Her Majesty. I consider that a part of the whole thing, but man, what an amazing 10 plus minutes of music that never gets old. Just incredible. And that's just my number 2. So now at number 1. Something, another George Harrison song, and in my mind, this could be the greatest Beatles ballad ever. I mean, Frank Sinatra himself mistook this for a Lennon and McCartney tune, when in fact, George Harrison wrote this all by himself. Just an incredible song, one of many written to Patty Harrison, who of course subsequently Layla would be written for her. A lot of great songs written to this woman, but man, what an amazing song. The chord progression, that walk down in the key of C, just when it goes up to that you're asking me, will my love grow? I don't know. Like somebody that's just so new into this loving relationship, but the love is so strong. And then the string arrangement by George Martin. Oh my God. I mean, when, he really was the fifth Beatle and took this to new heights, the whole record. But man, what an amazing song. What an amazing album. I could go on and on about this thing. As you know, I've already done 2 reviews of this album. One, my first video on the channel, and 2, when this had its 50-year anniversary a few years ago. And yeah, it's just, I probably never will stop talking about it, because it is just a magical record. Oh, that magic feeling. It's just truly a masterpiece. So guys, let me know in the comments below what your top 5 would be. If you're so bold, rank the whole freaking album, because as I said, everything's great on here, even Octopus's Garden, and Maxwell's Silver Hammer. There you go. I love that song too, man. It's so silly and just darkly strange, but I love it. Gotta love it, man. Abbey Road. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva la vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.